excited towards the next speaker because when it comes to innovation, inspiration is often found in unexpected places. Marco Tempest is a cyber illusionist who uses the principles of magic and the medium of technology to challenge us to imagine what is possible. And although Marco performs throughout the world and is a regular speaker at TED, this is his first time to Israel, and we are thrilled to have him here with us. We are going to break the 8-minute rule here and go slightly longer. And with that, please welcome Marco Tempest to the stage.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. The author Roald Dahl once said, "Those who don't believe in magic will never find it," and that the greatest secrets are always hidden in the most unlikely places. I think that every magician can relate to this. Magic is a craft built on secrets, and we look for them in the most improbable locations. It's about taking the everyday and finding within it the possibility of illusions. We take the things you're most familiar with, a cup, a ball, a handkerchief, a rabbit, a human being, and we do something impossible with it. Because we are always looking for the magic, we develop a different way of looking at the world. We are obsessively curious. I cannot go into a hardware store without spending hours picking up those blister-packed items off the racks and wondering what else I could do with them. And I'm not interested in hammering nails or cutting wood, but I have no idea what these items would do in the real world, but I can see endless possibilities for them in the magic world. It's something that magicians have in common with hackers. We can't help but look beyond the ordinary function of an object to discover its hidden attributes. For magicians, the world is like the Matrix, where surface familiarity hides a far more interesting domain where objects and ideas can be twisted, morphed, manipulated to accomplish things they were never designed to do. This undermining of audience expectation is how magicians design tricks. It's how ladies are sawn in half, elephants made to disappear, and bullets caught between the teeth. The ways in which reality can be sabotaged to create an unexpected illusion are the secrets of magic. Now, many of the things that were considered magic hundreds of years ago are still considered magic today. That's why the classics of magic are still being performed. The cut and restored rope, the Chinese linking rings. These age-old tricks defy the fundamental laws of nature, and those laws do not change. Now, it's possible that one day science will make self-healing ropes or metal rings that can pass through each other, which is kind of how science will make real what once was considered magic. So magicians must always stay ahead of the technology curve. So to me, magic is really about making possible today what science will make a reality tomorrow. We prototype the future. More than a century ago, stage magicians showed their audiences what it would be like to read minds, to teleport. They created robots, wireless machines, talking computers, interactive screens. What once was magic is now reality. Today we have devices in our lives that would have been considered magical not too many years ago. The mobile phone, computers, the internet. So the question is, how does the magician add a layer of illusion to objects which already have magical properties of their own? So with this in mind, I created these. You probably all heard of Microsoft's HoloLens. It's a new device. You look through them, and the world you see is augmented with data. Names of places, monuments, buildings, maybe one day even the names of the people that pass us on the street. So these are my illusion glasses. They're a prototype, a little bit bulky, but when you look through them, you get a glimpse into the mind of a cyber illusionist. And I'd like to show you how they work. So let's start that up. So all I need to make this work, and so this is not pre-recorded, this is live, so a demo. All I need to make this work is a playing card, and any card will do. Let's adjust the camera a little better. All right, perfect. So let's pick a card, just like this, and let's mark it so we can recognize it when we see it again. Because I'm a little nervous, I'm going to put a smiley face there. All right, so let's put the card back into the deck somewhere, just like this. And let's start up my system.
System ready. Acquiring image.
So for those of you who don't play cards, a deck of cards is made up of 4 different suits. There's hearts, clubs, diamonds, and spades. Cards are amongst the oldest of symbols and have been interpreted in many different ways. Now, some say that the 4 suits represent the 4 seasons. So there is spring, summer, fall, and
My
winter.
favorite season is winter.
Mine too. Winter is like magic. It involves visual wonder, drastic change, and a delicate balance between its physical states. In a deck of cards, in each of the 4 suits, there are 13 cards.
Each card represents a phase of the 13 lunar cycles.
So over here we have low tide, over here we have high tide, and then in the middle, of course, in the middle, we have the moon.
The moon is one of the most potent symbols of magic.
There are 2 colors in a deck of cards. There's the color red and the color black, representing the constant change from day to night.
Marco, I did not know you could do that.
Well, thank you. In a complete deck of cards, there are 52 cards representing the 52 weeks of the year.
If you total all the spots on a deck of cards, the result is 365.
365. That's the number of dates we have between each of our birthdays. So let's make a wish.
Don't tell, or it won't come true.
As a matter of fact, it was on my 6th birthday that I received my very first deck of cards. And ever since that day, I traveled around the world entertaining boys and girls, men and women, husbands and wives, even kings and queens.
And who are these?
Mischief makers, watch. Wake up.
Whoa!
Are you ready?
Ready.
Let me see what you got.
Presenting my pogo stick.
Careful.
Whoa, whoa.
But today, I'm performing for a different kind of audience.
Sign card detected.
I'm performing for you. Now, to do this kind of work, sometimes people ask me, Marco, do you just work from 9 till 5? Of course not. Magic is a 24/7 job. I don't literally mean 24 hours, 7 days a week. 24/7 would be a little bit of an exaggeration. But it does take practice. Now, some people say, well, magic, that's the work of some evil, supernatural force. Well, to this, I just say no, no. Okay, in German it's 9-9. Magic isn't really that intense. I have to warn you though, if you ever play with somebody who deals cards like this, don't play for money.
Why not? That's a very good hand. The odds of getting it are 4,165 to 1.
True, but I think my hand is better. I guess we beat the odds.
I think you got your birthday wish.
And that leaves me with the last and most important card of all. And unlike anything you've just seen, virtual or not, this is without a question the real thing.
Signed card detected.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Thank you very much. Up. Let me quickly continue on. Sorry about that. So there is a very important element to magic which I'd like to touch on: psychology. Magicians are often thought of as being masters of sleight of hands. The quickness of the hand deceives the eye. But that is not true. Magic does not depend on deceiving the eye. It depends on deceiving the brain. Magicians are not only technologists, they're also psychologists. Magicians know that given the opportunity, the brain can be lazy. To save time and energy, it looks for patterns in the environment. The brain recognizes elements and assumes that the things it sees now are exactly the same as the things it has seen before. Edward de Bono described the brain as a pattern matching machine. The magician exploits this, setting up familiar patterns so that the brain jumps to the wrong conclusions. The magicians designs tricks so that everything about them looks familiar. The props seem ordinary, the magician's actions above suspicion, even the words we use seem straightforward and unambiguous. But this veneer of ordinariness covers many deceptions. So the eye sees everything, but the brain is being fooled. I'd like to show you what I mean by performing a card trick. And to make sure that I don't use any sleight of hand, I'm going to use some very big cards. And I want you all to play along. I created here 5 virtual playing cards. And I want you all to remember one of these 5 cards. Remember the suit and the value of your chosen card. And make up your mind now. Don't forget your cards. I'm going to mix up the cards. And I'm going to remove one of the 5 cards. How about, I think this one here. Now, if I was right, then your card has now disappeared. Did your card disappear? Well, don't worry about it. My card actually disappeared too. Yeah. The trick is called the Princess Card Trick and was devised by magician Henry Hardin. It's a very good example of what psychologists today call change blindness. But the most interesting thing about this trick is that it was devised over 100 years ago in 1903. Magicians were exploiting a weakness in our ability to make sense of information long before the phenomenon was being discovered by science. Psychology is a core component of magic, just as it is in many other areas of art, where an imitation of reality is meant to evoke emotions or memories of the general article. So that ends my presentation. Thank you very much for having me here. Thank you.